Today we're talking about seven-figure net transactions. I'm gonna give you 3 different ways I know this is happening right now, probably around you, in your area, in this climate, in the marketplace that we're in. So I know $1 million, guys, and what it used to be, still a ton of money, and I guarantee you $1 million will still change your life. So let's talk about how people are making multiple seven-figure net deals happen lifetime, and how you can make it happen for yourself. And if you can't, you can reach out to me and I can possibly make it happen with you. So as I go through these, guys, take in mind I'm teaching you this so you can do it on your own or with your own partners in your own market. But if you can't and you come across these types of transactions, reach out to me. I have the backing, I have the resources, I have the funding, I have the teams, and we can make it happen. So the first one I want to talk about here that I'm seeing happen all across the country is the repurposing of old commercial buildings, those shell buildings. Now, what is a shell building? Just think of a big open area building like a Walmart or an old grocery store, like a Kroger, or think about a mall, something that's just a big open shell. It hasn't been developed out. You don't have multiple walls and multiple structures. There's not 3 different levels and stairs and everything built out. It's just an open shell. So when you want to repurpose it, it's a very easy project to do because you can basically start fresh when gutting it. So what's happening right now is if you can come across properties, old malls, old grocery stores, old Krogers, old Dillards, things like this, that are under $20 a square foot, I want you to reach out to me or look at that deal yourself and analyze it to see if this makes sense for you. Because what they're doing is they're taking these old properties, they're gutting them out, and they're repurposing them, and they're turning it into climate-controlled storage units in areas that you could never build that same property. So think about in the city or in suburbia, in these areas that have already been developed out, there's not enough land to buy a piece of land that the math will work on, or even probably buy the land to build vertical or even horizontal on in these areas that are low on storage unit properties. They need more storage units because the population is too large and people are needing to put stuff in these storage units, right? But they have to go outside of the city. They have to drive outside or somewhere remote, and it's a big burden for them. So what they're doing is they're taking these properties, turning them into climate control storage units, and they're clearing 7 figures net, some of them, when they turn around and sell them, or they're keeping them for themselves with massive cash flow positions and holding properties in great areas that they could have never had otherwise. So if you know of abandoned old grocery stores or know of old malls or anything that's a big commercial building, take a look at it, find out what the price per square foot is, find out the condition, send me the information, guys. We'll figure out how to make it work. Now here's number 2, guys. The second way you could potentially make over $1 million on transaction, it has to do with land. You're gonna have to buy a bunch of land and break it down into smaller pieces of land and do something with it, right? But what are they actually doing with it? So the first thing is they're buying a big piece of land and they're breaking it down into smaller pieces of land or taking a big chunk of it off and selling off enough to recapture their initial investment. So now at this moment, what's left over is 100% upside to them. They can sell off the rest of the land, just capture dollars in front. They can owner finance these lots. What some of them are doing is they're breaking them down. They're getting ready to for a developer to come build a house. Instead of developing it themselves, they're owner financing lots to potential homeowners that go find a custom house builder to build on them. Now they can keep these notes 100% cash flow for the long term because they've already recouped their investment, or they can sell the note and get out of the note and do it this way. So they're either doing it like this, where they're selling off the rest of the land, capturing the profit up front, owner financing the rest, selling the notes, or keeping the notes. And then the third option is they just develop it out and they build rental properties on them and they keep them long term. And this is basically their entire upside and their retirement plan. So there's lots of different things you can do with this, but they're taking large pieces of land when nobody else is able to close on them. That's why I said reach out to me if you guys know about properties like this. And they're breaking them down, selling off enough to get out of it, everything they put in it, and the rest is upside, and they decide what they want to do with it. Now the third option, guys, is this. Here it is. Mobile home parks, but specific ones they're looking for. Completely run down mobile home parks, probably no livable units or only a few good livable units. Let's say it's like a 50 or 100 unit property, and all of a sudden there's only like 15 in there that are livable, but there's a whole bunch that are run down or people have them in there. What they're doing is they're trying to find properties that are way underperforming, taking all the old mobile homes off there, scraping everything down, redoing the property, updating it, putting landscaping in, maybe some roads in there, just kind of bringing it up to what someone would say, I feel comfortable living in, and taking all the junk properties off and bringing in nicer, newer, better to live in with a higher caliber person that would be moving in that property, mobile homes. Some of them have granite, some of them are double wides, but essentially what they're doing is they're finding old mobile home parks, taking them down, dismantling them, and filling them up with nicer mobile homes that people can now live in, and they're either owner financing them or renting them or selling them off in general. So as you can see, the big 3 ways that I gave you right here, what is the commonality between all of them? Something that's massive, that can be repurposed from its original purpose to something new that now has a higher demand for it, right? Taking rundown parks, turn them into nicer, newer parks. Taking raw land, bring it down to someone for someone to go develop on it, or helping someone develop on it yourself and staying in that deal. And the last one, old shell properties, big commercial properties that they're gutting, repurposing into something like climate controlled self-storage units. Can't talk right now, but you guys can see how they're doing this. But these are the biggest deals I've known that have actually been done lately. These are the 3 ways that they've been done. So keep this in mind, guys. If you have these in mind right now, properties in your area, contact me below. Let's talk about it, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Hope this helps, guys. Go make $1 million on a deal. If you do, and you net $1 million on one of these types of deals, contact me. I'll put you on my podcast because we're ramping the podcast up here very quickly. So I'm reaching out to some of you guys. So get ready for the podcast. But other than that, have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.